And we are back, everyone.
Hi.
We have Morticia with us today, a member of the Black Trans Travel Fund. And we're so excited to be meeting up with you today and talking with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Of course. How have you been? How's everything going for you?
Um,
Emotional check-ins. We're checking
Yeah,
in.
I'm like emotional check-in.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I
Okay.
think I've been able to manage kind of like setting time aside for myself. I'm also looking into getting a therapist, which is
Yes.
exciting. I haven't had a therapist since I was like, I don't know, like 15 or 16, and I was just like, I'm trans. I don't need you. um, so yeah, that's exciting. New things. Yeah.
And
Amazing.
it's beautiful things that y'all are doing at the Black Trans Travel Fund.
Yeah.
And we have a few questions for you today. So thank you so much for being here with us and sharing space with us.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the Black Trans Travel Fund, when you started it and kind of its general purpose and mission?
hmm So my partner Devin actually, um, we had been having conversations about just like my safety, which is kind of like a constant thing. And so it was like a direct response to that, but then also within like the same breath and like kind of time period, there was like the death of Malaysia Booker, the murder of Malaysia Booker, and I can't blanking Chanel, I can't remember her last name, and a few other trans women like within the month of like June of last year.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this was just a direct response to um, a way that seemed tangible that could like impact like very, immediately. So yeah.
That's awesome.
beautiful. And I
And
think
so what kind of services does it provide? It's like car rides and what else?
So what else?
I'm like, I want to know more.
So since the start of the Black Trans Travel Fund, it's been predominantly the intended uses for car rides or transportation
Yeah.
in the best way that the person sees fit.
Awesome.
But with just kind of like, I don't know, we're like growing, and ideally we'd like to kind of be able to like do like flight vouchers or, kind of like have people travel that have never been out of their home city, like that kind of stuff.
that's beautiful.
What a wonderful gift.
Right? I'm like, that's
Mhm.
really nice. And I mean, that's definitely something that is important to provide your community with, right? Learning experiences and growth. And it's incredible that it started with just like this instance where you were like, I actually want to make sure that I'm safe. How do I
Mhm.
facilitate this for my entire community that also is in a very similar position as me? So it's really beautiful to see that something as important as this just kind of has evolved into a much
Mhm.
larger movement, and it's beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It is
Yes.
beautiful. I feel the same. Like think about it, I'm just like, wow, like I don't know, you like when things kind of like get ahead of you because you're just kind of like present, and then you like look and you go, oh.
Yeah, you're like, I'm here. Like it's evolved, and you're like, now we're
Mhm.
actually in it. It's beautiful.
That's amazing. Um, and I why is it so important that we protect Black trans lives? I mean, I know, but I feel like it's important to reiterate
Right.
it for
Um,
Yeah.
everybody who's watching.
it's just kind of like it's just pivotal to culture. I
Yeah.
think the and like advancement of just everyone. Um, protecting Black trans lives, just like at its very core, is taking care of community And I
Yeah.
think that that is our, you know, that is a birthright to
Right.
protect community. You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like I don't know the exact statistics, but I feel like Black trans women have like the highest death rates out of any group,
Mhm.
and so that's why it's especially important, right? And making sure that there is safe transportation, and making sure that people are able to get from point A to point B. But
Right.
I think this is such an awesome um, way to give back and to ensure the safety right here in New York, right? It's New York
Mhm.
and in New Jersey too, right?
Yes, New York, New Jersey. And we've gotten a few um like right now, I believe there's someone in um the UK who has started, like in London, who has started a Black Trans Travel Fund. Um, and I think
Beautiful.
we kind of like hear when people like reach out and kind of like ask, um, you know, where do we go from here?
So
So
it's global now.
right, she's traveling.
He's traveling.
She's doing that
Oh,
international
That's
thing.
right. And
Yeah,
I mean, that is so
gotta get that
important.
passport ready. Yes.
get that passport ready.
That's so awesome.
And speaking
Um,
of it evolving on a worldwide level, I wanted to ask you a question. So I was wondering, has the worldwide delay of occupational demands given the organization more time to accumulate more funding, or has it kind of mirrored the delay of people not needing to travel because there isn't work, and so maybe potentially having less funds to provide to the community? How has that kind of like reflected in the trans travel fund?
Um, it's reflected in a way where we have um, received a lot more
Good.
funding and also kind of just like attention being highlighted in this way. So it's been awesome to be able to um, up the budget. You know what I mean?
Right.
To be able to provide more funds for more girls, and yeah, like it also like and with that, with the we're in the middle of a pandemic right now.
Right.
Um, it actually has been about the same, if not maybe a little more, just because there are still, people going to protests. We sponsor different events with like the Okra Project and For the Girls. So like, if there's a
Yay.
space where Black trans femmes are and they need transportation, we're able to like lend in that way because even though we do like a monthly there's a monthly application that we started sponsoring 50 women. Now we're able to sponsor 100 women. And
oh my
even
God.
within the throughout the month, like I said, when there are different events, we're able to sponsor girls that way as well. So that's been really nice.
Beautiful. It's wonderful to see how you're helping each other just facilitate fun
Mhm,
and help each other move and travel, like you said.
mhm.
So that's incredible. I love that we're coming together and all the proceeds are going straight to your fund. So it's really
Thank you.
important to have you here.
Yay!
Yes.
I think it's
All that
huge
stuff.
that you've gone from 50 to 100 women, and
Right.
hopefully,
Mhm.
in the future, thousands. I
Yeah.
mean, the reach would be substantial, which would be
Mhm.
awesome. What do you see for your future with the Black Trans Travel Fund? What, like, in your like
Um,
ideal world, what does that look like?
in my most ideal world, um, it will expand in the most perfect way possible. Uh,
Right.
you know what I mean? Kind of like reaching everywhere that it needs to,
Mm,
and then eventually not being necessary because we live in this utopian space where Black trans women don't feel unsafe. So,
That would be
absolutely.
Yes, that would be ideal. And how does creating funding opportunities for this organization make you feel on a personal level? And what do you envision to be the end goal continuing on with the Trans Travel Fund?
um, I'm
I
sorry,
think
repeat the
it's
question one more
almost
time.
similar to Shelby's question, but I was basically like, how does this make you feel, like on a
Hmm.
personal level? How is this
Hmm.
making you, like the fulfillment that it brings you?
Hmm. Um, it feels really good because this is like one of the um I won't say few times in my life, but one of the times in my life that I can like actually like look at and see that I've poured into myself equal parts as well as others. Or I don't know if that's actually like possible, you know what I mean? But kind of like being able to like check in with myself and also check in with community and like provide mutually. Um, yeah,
That's beautiful. Like, so fulfillment through aiding one another.
absolutely.
I mean, trans and non-binary people, like, we're sacred. So people need to wake up and understand that trans bodies are sacred.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Gosh,
Black about the community, have you met and like befriended a bunch of people since starting this work? How does that come together?
yes and no. I met people through, it's crazy. Recently, I was at, I was down the street and me and a friend walked into me and Aya Simone, who is also on the team for Black Trans Travel Fund. So there's myself, there's Eli, um, uh, what is Eli's last name? Why am I blanking?
It's okay.
Eli
It's the
Saint. I think that's his like Instagram name. And then Devin and myself. But Yaya and I were going into a store and this girl like noticed Yaya's shirt and she was like, "Oh my god, I love your shirt." And then we kind of started talking and she like she saw that my shirt said Black Trans Love is Wealth. And so then it was like, family. And then we kind of like had a little kiki moment. And then we also have a bunch of tasers and mace that we've been kind of distributing to women. And so I like got this woman's contact information and then I like added into my phone and then I like remembered her name and she actually has already utilized the fund. So when I texted her about you know, being able to like have a taser or mace, she was like, "Oh, like I already like use it." So that was pretty cool.
That's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, it's nice to like have to win community. I think when I see like people that I have met like on set for Pose or just like out and about are like, you know, taking
And
advantage
having
of
those
it.
full circle moments too must be
Hmm.
really beautiful to have and encouraging to keep going, right?
Right. I kind of screamed. I was like, "Oh my God, you're her." I
Yes,
see you all the time.
I love that.
yeah.
Yes. And I have another question. For someone that might not know or be familiar with Black trans people or a Black trans person, what would be your words of encouragement to them if they felt a desire to help out in a way, but they weren't too sure on how to go about it?
um, I think it's uh, one of those things where it requires a lot of reflection and seeking out what, like, you know, what is your genuine intention
Mm,
and,
the motive.
um, yeah, your motive and having, I won't say having access to Black trans people, but, you know, wanting to also be of service
Right.
to any Black trans folk. I think it, like I said, I think it starts with truly answering a lot of questions that you have, and then kind of going from there. Because I think once you've kind of tapped into what ways you think you may be able to be of service, then you can kind of um, find out which communities
Yeah.
need what.
Right. Kind of like go within before you go without.
Go within before you go without.
Right. I'm like writing down quotes.
I know. I'm like, where is the merch? I need a shirt. That says that.
You can
Like,
have
Right?
that. Take that. That's for the Black trans people. Go within before you go
so
without.
true. It's so
Uh,
true. You need to get right within. and also really understand your own privilege. I
Mhm.
think, anyways, to know how you can help use your
Mhm.
privilege, again, without it
Exactly.
being like, I'm white saviorism or anything like that. It's not
Mhm.
about that at all, which
Without
I think
imposing
is
on the actual movement.
Mhm. Or
exactly.
seeking any kind of accolade. So
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
someone reached out to me recently and like told me that they wanted to redistribute reparations, and it was just very anonymous and
Mhm.
kind of like under the radar. And I don't know, I think that that's one way to move.
That's one way to what? I'm sorry.
Totally.
I can hear.
One way to
Yeah.
move in it, so that it doesn't seem um, you know, cloudy or
Yeah.
yeah, again, go within.
And then we go with
Because
that.
I can, and that's also another thing. It's like we can't. It's like it's one of those things that's so difficult because you can't really. I don't know. Like I think policing people's intentions is very like weird.
Mhm. It's very much of
So
the times. Like it's very much
yeah.
a current theme that happens in media and social
Mhm.
culture of policing. And it's not your responsibility as a trans person to educate another person on that. Like if they're really interested, they go out and like you look within, then you can look without and help out people who are who are in of need, right? I mean, I keep saying it, but I feel like it's something that I'm like, wait, this is actually like, is that a gem? Like this is a gem.
Is that a gem? Uh-huh.
You
You're
know?
having an aha moment.
Exactly. I'm like, wait, this is
Mhm.
good. No, but I mean, I think yeah, it's definitely it's come to that point where we have to continue to educate ourselves, and if people are really interested, then they can look into it and seek ways to help and to fund, you know.
And if you
Definitely.
haven't realized it already, like if you're unfamiliar,
Hmm.
Black trans culture, all you have to do is like
Right.
barely peer into it because it has influenced everything.
Exactly.
Okay. Music, dance, entertainment,
Mhm.
style, lingo, like come
Uh-huh.
on.
Yeah,
You
you
wake
that's
up
the other
and
thing is
smell
you
the
don't have to
smell the roses.
reach or like look very far to kind of figure out where
What
to
the
start. You know what I mean? Or like what's next? Who's next?
yeah, exactly. And what would be your advice? I have another question. What would be your advice to people who are dealing with mental health issues, but also want to find a way to advocate for the communities that are currently fighting for equity?
One more time, I'm so sorry.
So I was saying, what would be your advice to the people who are dealing with mental health, but
Mhm.
also want to find ways to advocate for communities that are currently fighting for equity? So let's say if someone's really like going through depression or anxiety and
Mhm.
they want to help, but they feel super anxious and super self conscious and they don't know how to go about that. Like, what would be your words of encouragement to them?
That um sometimes I'm there too.
Yeah.
Um and that's something that you just have to really um feel
Right.
because I've se- I've seen the most tender people just kind of take charge in a way that I have been unable to at the moment.
Yeah.
So to that also, I like I said, your health is definitely um, priority in terms of checking in with your mental and just like your physical to be able to even kind of go out into any sort of like front lines or battle essentially to kind of like go at war with something. So like you just have to be kind of physically, emotionally, spiritually and prepared for that. So if you're not, take care of yourself and check in, and then when you are, then you can kind of you know
Beautiful.
reset and move in the way that you need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I
You
said, I've
feel
also been in that space because that's just the
Right.
times right now. And there will also always be other people that are fighting. So
Yeah. Or are in like difficult positions as well, like much worse,
Correct.
you know, so it's definitely something to reflect upon. And yeah, I 100% agree with what you just said. Yeah, sometimes we just
What's
have.
your Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
What's your favorite form of self-care? How do you fill your cup up?
Yes.
Um, what is good self-care for me? I really enjoy just like being with myself, having on like a sheet mask. Skincare, I think, is one of the best
Hydration.
Yes.
self-cares for me,
Yeah.
and Bollywood films.
Right.
I will sit and watch about 5 hours and then kind of go back into normal life, maybe.
Sometimes you got to unplug and you have to just focus in on something else.
Yeah, and also like the kind of, you know, putting my phone down, being able to like be off of that, because I think now I'm on my phone significantly more than I was. And it's not, I don't think it's neither bad or good. I think things are just different. And also I'm working from my phone sometimes, I'm working from my computer. So there's that, you know.
Awesome. I love Bollywood films
Me
too.
too.
I just
The
watched
style.
K3G and I have to go back.
Yeah.
I have to go back. I don't know why it's been so long since, I mean, I know why, but like also I knew that the movie was long, so I'm gonna have to sit through this. I have to be ready, whatever.
And you got the earrings
And
on.
I know, so good.
I have my Jimkas.
So pretty. Yeah. I was
Thank
like,
you.
yes, this is such a cute outfit.
Thank you.
Love it. Love it. I've definitely been tapping into the skincare stuff too. I mean, now that we're just home, I'm like, there is no excuse for me to not be doing this. And like self-care really is it's a radical act of love because it takes time. If you've ever like gone in and done like the whole production from A to Z, it's like it could be like 2 or 3 hours of really you time, you know? So
And being present.
yeah. I like
It's strange because sometimes I've like had to catch myself not rushing myself. I'm like, what are you doing? Where do you have to go? You don't have to do anything. Like just do it. Do it right.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Where
So
are you going?
Thank you.
So where can we where
Go
can we donate? What is the website to donate directly for the Black
www.blacktranstravelfund.com. Also on any of the social media platforms, there'll be like a direct link to donate as well. Yeah. And I think most of our handles are the same. Black Trans Travel Fund.
Amazing. Amazing. Are there any other events that you're helping with that are coming up in the city?
There is something on Sunday.
I know. I'm like, what day is it? Where am I?
There's a march on Sunday around Christopher Street.
Awesome.
And we will be sponsoring Girls Rides there as well.
Yay. Has there been more of a demand on you through like social media platforms, you feel like now? Or do you feel like it's just kind of like constant work or, you know?
It doesn't feel like constant work because I think one of the things, like what we were kind of talking about before, there was like this period where I was like mourning and grieving and kind of like going back with that because I also was like, but my people It's like, you know, in this way that I had to kind of check in with myself and like do some work.
So
I
it
kind
doesn't
of
feel
forgot.
like it's too much of a, it doesn't feel like it's too much of a social demand on you. It just feels like you're
No, not
enjoying it.
right now. Definitely not.
You
I
have a
think
healthy
it's,
balance.
yeah, we found a healthy balance.
It's beautiful.
Also, our my partner and I are moving in together. I don't know, like also a lot of shifts have kind of happened, so there's like
Right.
there's a lot,
That's
and
so
I just and
exciting.
it is very exciting. It's like it's one of those things, and I can't.
Yeah.
I haven't even been able to process it really because there's so many other things going. I mean, I have, but like there's so many things happening that I'm just like, when they come to you, you just eat them and you keep going.
Right.
Just be
Everything
Miss
is
Pac.
just like
Just
falling
be
into
Miss Pac-Man, and everything will be fine.
Yeah. Hey, she was an icon.
Uh-huh.
That's so great. If people want to get involved, what is the best way to just donate or?
You can donate directly. You can reach out to myself. I am on social media, Morticia Godiva, Morticia_Godiva on Instagram. I live on there. Devin doesn't use social media so much, but the Black Trans Travel Fund Instagram page as well, you can interact with for any like questions, promotions, collaborations, anything of the sort.
Well, we're so
Awesome.
happy that you decided to join forces with us today.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having you. When we meet people on Zoom, it's like, I don't know, I feel like everyone's just like always like smiling. not all the time.
Yeah.
I think when we're like amongst family, amongst community, I think it's like one of those things where it's like, hi, like, love you from afar. We're doing like air hug moments and kind of, I don't know, this is great. So I'm glad that.
Yeah, it felt very natural and fluid, and it's just wonderful to have you with us and to have you representing the community that you're representing. And we're so excited to be a part of this with y'all and to be raising funds for all of y'all.
Thank you. We're excited as well.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to hug you.
Let's hug.
Let's hug. We're here. We're here. Yes.
Also, is everyone based in where?
I'm in California, but I'm usually in New York. I've been there for 7 years now. Yeah.
Work.
And
Awesome.
where are you based at? Where are you living?
Right now I'm based in New York, in the Bronx specifically.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm from the motherfucking Bronx.
Yeah, from the Bronx.
I'm not, but I am.
yeah, repping it regardless.
Uh-huh.
Well, Morticia, it's been lovely speaking with you. I'm going to ask you for your Instagram one more time, if you could share it with us.
Yes, Morticia_Godiva. That's MORTICIA_GODIVA.
Yes. Amazing.
You're an angel.
Thank you. So are you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks so much for everything.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You as well.
When I first heard about it, I kind of thought it was like a joke. I'm like, no way they're gonna just give us money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I was like, okay, let me try it. I got it like, promptly, like I think immediately after I did it. And I was like, it was like a huge impact on my life because I had recently got a job like around that time. So, there was a lot of late hours. I was like, do I want to get on the train that late? Like it was nice to be able to depend on the Trans Travel Fund to get me home safely, So I would say that was just always been there, like when I needed it, like I always have it, like whenever I really need it the most. So, yeah.